Good morning, I'm Phillip Dunne. I'm the MP for Ludlow. I'm pleased to chair the All-Party Parliamentary Group on Rural Services. I'm also chairman of the Environmental Audit Committee. Really pleased to be able to join you virtually today, beginning of your National Rural Conference run by SPARS. It's a great organisation. I know a lot of people commit a huge amount of time to promoting rural interests, and I'm really pleased to have this brief opportunity to tell you how important it is. The theme of the conference this week is revitalising rural. Now, as we emerge, we hope, from this dreadful COVID pandemic and all of the awful implications it's had for our economy, livelihoods of people right across the country, of course the rural areas have suffered badly. And we need to find ways to help ensure that they can remain vibrant as we come out of this pandemic and as the economy recovers. And that's why the themes of each day of this conference are so important. We've all learnt that working from home is now something that is becoming the new normal. And home for so much of the population is in our rural areas. So it's absolutely vital that we can ensure that people can function both for social reasons from home, but also for business reasons. And of course that requires rural connectivity. The government has made significant strides in trying to improve connectivity, but we know, and I know as a rural MP with one of the worst speeds for broadband and mobile reception in South Shropshire, that a lot more needs to be done. I believe the time that I'm recording this, an announcement is imminent from the government of some improvements to the voucher scheme to try to ensure that the universal service obligation means what it says and gets delivered to those parts of the country that have so far been excluded from proper connectivity. So I hope that we will be able together to hold the government to account and to implement proper rapid broadband rollout in the rest of this Parliament. It's also important for delivery of public services, which are increasingly happening online. So this is my big first ask for government and for this conference. I think you'll be addressing this in a couple of ways over coming days. The second big ask is over rural housing. As more and more people see the attractions of living in the countryside and start to migrate to the countryside, that will put pressure on house prices in rural areas, which will make it even less affordable for local people brought up in rural areas to be able to continue to live there. Which is why we need to have a planning system which is fit for the future and will allow for affordable housing to continue to be built within our rural communities, and that rural towns and villages are not left behind. The government has launched a white paper and consultations on several aspects of improving house building in recent months, and we're right in the middle of this now. And I know the whole issue of not leaving rural areas behind when it comes to housing solutions will be another important feature of this conference, and I look forward to hearing the outcome of your deliberations in that area. The final theme I just wanted to say in these opening remarks for you today is the importance of the environment. My select committee is in the midst of an inquiry on greening the recovery, the post-COVID recovery, and trying to ensure that the environment is at the heart of all the measures that the government is introducing to try to keep our economy going during this very difficult time. I know you all understand the importance of the environment because you live in the middle of it. We need to ensure that the government is using the opportunity provided to take unprecedented measures following COVID, to do so in a way that allows us to move forward towards achieving our objective of net zero Britain by 2050. Green recovery is good for jobs, it's good for our health, our well-being, it's good for the planet. We need to make sure that the government recognises this, and your discussions on environmental aspects of the recovery are also really important in this year when we have an environment bill for the first time in 40 years going through the House of Commons to conclude by the end of this year, and we have real strides to make to achieve net zero Britain as part of the 25-year environment plan. Hope you have a great conference. Thank you for taking a few moments to listen to me. I'm sorry I can't be with you. Long live rural.